Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 33 of Cold Beers and Curveballs.
Casey had one job. It's episode 32.
It's episode 33. Jessica Kleinschmidt's Bay was episode 32.
You had one job.
I had the first fucking job, and it was the best fucking job, and I was right.
All right, maybe you're right.
Yeah, maybe I was right. Maybe the person that labels things in Google Docs is wrong.
It's episode 32, guys.
Welcome back, guys. Corey decided to join me on this episode.
Episode 32, guys.
He's like Mark Burley over here. I don't work during the off season. I don't do nothing. I just eat and show up on spring training. Cy Young.
Are you even talking into your mic, Chase?
Dude, I am talking into my mic. We are at Corey's new favorite place to hang out. It's Joe's Dugout. It's over off of Midway and Rosemead. It's a lot of fun.
Lots of people in here.
Yeah, there's quite a few people here. I mean, there's
number of people in this place just doubled.
Right? It's a little slow night, but it makes for good times. So, guys, big news for us. We are now on iHeartRadio and Stitcher.
Hell yeah, we are.
So we are expanding the show where you can find us or tell your friends to find us. Because you get those people, it's like, hey, I found this really cool podcast on iTunes. It's like, I have an Android phone. I'm not going to fall into the masses. It's like, oh, well, then you can look them up on Google Play. And so now nobody has an excuse to not ever listen to Cold Beers and Curveballs.
There's all sorts of places to find us.
Right? So, I mean, it's a lot of fun being here at Joe's Dugout. Good pizza, good fun. Bartenders most nights except for Thursdays. But, yeah, you know, it's...
Chase is picky about his bartenders.
I am very picky about my bartenders. And Corey's like, I'm free-spirited, free will, whatever. So, Corey's drinking a Dallas Blonde. I am drinking a PBR. But don't worry, I haven't betrayed Texas because PBR is kind of like the Lone Star of the rest of the world. Since they're owned by the same company, right?
Maybe.
So let's get into the news and the highlights of this week. So we got Lincecum officially signed. He finally announced Tuesday? Finally talked to him on Tuesday. Yeah, so he's finally officially signed a major league contract with the Rangers. It wasn't a minor league contract, which I was pretty shocked about with the Rangers' pitching situation and how they've gone about doing the rest of their pitching or their structures on the contracts, especially with the pitchers. But he's getting, $1 million?
Yeah.
So
$1 million, exactly.
Right.
You know,
but it turns out his brother suddenly passed away. He's not going to fight for number 55. He's going with 44.
Yeah, still haven't figured out the what happened in the Lincecum family. But,
right.
I mean, the nuts and bolts of it is that his brother passed away at 39. So his favorite number for baseball was 44, so Lincecum's going to wear that.
Right, yeah. No, he was kind of Lincecum 1.0, and he didn't have that same build and frame, so he didn't really do much in baseball. Tim was able to make it work for a couple of seasons. But, also, we've got Napoli finally got signed. He's back with the Indians. It looks like it's going to be a short-term deal.
Napoli loves him some Cleveland.
Dude, Napoli is a journeyman. Napoli shows
mostly
up.
Mostly just journeys between Texas and Cleveland.
Right. Napoli shows up. He's like, all right, guys, I'm going to strike out 180 times, but I'm going to hit you 45 bombs, and they're going to be with people on base.
I don't think he's going to hit 45 bombs next year.
I think
would wager
Napoli's
that.
do. I think Napoli's do. Don't wager me because I said Mitch Moreland was going to have a good year last year, but that was with somebody else that I made that wager. Guys, this is breaking news. Third baseman Mike Moustakas agrees with the Royals for a 1-year, $5.5 million deal. $5.5 million deal with a $15 million mutual option for 2019 or a $1 million buyout. That's coming from Mark Feinsand of MLB.com. So it actually kind of sounds.
Tweets it, right?
It might sound like an intern name, so he may just trying to be making a name for himself.
No, but that's good. We were just talking about that. Let's
yeah,
get into Moustakas.
we can fucking get him off the list.
Oh, Jeff Passan's tweeting it too, so it must be real.
Uh-oh. And Julio Pablo Martinez, the big Cuban signing for the Rangers. We'll cover a little bit of that in our segments about the Rangers because that's what Corey likes to talk about. Also, we've got some news about Arizona's production may be down, and players who really like to hit there may not like to hit there this year.
It's unfortunate.
Right? So I guess let's get into our first segment.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there.
Yeah, we're back for the first segment. So, as we were talking, Moustakas got signed to a $5.5 million deal. Clubs haven't confirmed with the Royals. It's a one-year deal, $15 million mutual option for 2019 and $1 million buyout. That's what's being tweeted. It just popped up. It's 9 o'clock on a Thursday night. So people listen to Friday. You'll wake up.
But it's not just 9 o'clock on a Thursday night. It's March 8th.
Right.
You're not supposed to have free agency news.
Right. So it makes
here we are.
What, 21 days.
Looking at one of the bigger names in free agency, based on name value.
21 days.
Truly the best.
Right. There had been talks that the Yankees were interested, but that doesn't look like that was really. I think it looked kind of was just like a filler.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't his deal that the Royals? Like, he could have signed his qualifying offer. I think it was $15 million or something.
Right.
He turned that down.
Dude, and that's the thing. Sometimes, and I think after this season, we're going to see a lot of fucking players who may look at their qualifying offers a lot different.
Yeah, I think it was 1 year, $17 million. He turned that down, thinking he could get more.
Right.
He ends up 1 year, $6 million.
Right. So it looks like now we are just down to Arrieta, Lance Lynn, and Alex Cobb, all pitchers.
Hey, you know what the Rangers could use?
They could use some pitching probably.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to fucking spend that money on that.
Right?
Well, Scott Boras says that he feels like he can still get Arrieta a deal better than you.
Look, he can get a good deal once somebody's ace gets injured.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to wait around for that.
Right.
For another couple weeks in spring training.
Right. But here's the thing, is you've got a team like everybody that I've talked to and everybody that I've seen online and everybody that's reporting everything, they're saying that all three of the major ones left, Arrieta, Lynn, Moustakas, the Nationals were the fit. Nationals will spend all types of money. People think Bryce Harper is not going back to the Nationals. The Nationals will match and probably go above whatever offer Harper gets next offseason. But what we're seeing here is Arrieta and Lynn and Cobb, there's a pitching market. The Brewers need pitching.
Yeah, there is, but
the Phillies
not
need
for
pitching.
What they want to make.
Right. But that's the thing. It was like before we were doing the show, we were talking about how Moustakas is kind of in a fucked situation where the people that need him,
the people that need him have
team.
a better third baseman, and the people who, like, there's a good half of the league who's got a better third baseman. He's not truly elite.
Right.
And then all your teams that might be in the market for Moustakas already went somewhere else. And then there's about 10 teams. It's a huge segment of the league. They're just tanking.
Right.
They're not in it to buy big-name free agents.
No, it's like, why would the Phillies take Jake Arrieta when they're
so really
they're 4 years out?
Yeah, your market is only 10 teams, basically. And, you know, if those found a different third baseman that was younger or something, you know, then you're SOL. And so that's why Moose ended up going back to the Royals.
Right. So maybe with Moose being signed, that may open up the rest of it. But there was also a report that came out today, or what was it, 2 days ago, that there's another free agent on the market that may just be fucking hanging it up.
Oh, yeah.
And this brings no, like, music to the ears of Texans.
Yeah. True story.
Mr. Jose Bautista, before you fucking think about doing another fucking bat flip, think about how now nobody in MLB likes you. No ownership, no front office. Dude, you can flip your bat.
He sucked last year. I think he was hitting like 210 last year.
But he was still flipping his bat like he was, like his dick had been on the field 2 minutes before he fucking walked out of the dugout.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was a piece of shit. Like, he's a piece of shit human. He was a piece of shit ball player last year. Like, fucking go back wherever you came from. Nobody fucking wants you on a major league team. Go play some indie ball. Go overseas.
Yep.
You're done. Nobody wants you. Nobody loves you, Bautista.
Bautista might be going. He might be signing for less than moves. Like, we're talking $1 million or $2 million.
Dude, but he said he won't take it. He'll just retire.
Yeah.
He was offered. He was offered what? He turned down $150 million offer. Something like, or he asked for 150.
About 2 years ago,
right?
When we're negotiating his long-term contract, and he thought he could get even more than that,
right? And he had to settle for $16 million,
like on a 1 year,
right? Yeah, and now he's settling for jack shit because nobody fucking wants him. But you did that to yourself, Bautista.
It would be a lovely. I'd be happy if baseball moved along from Jose.
But what
Bautista.
happens? What happens if the Rangers look at this and they're like, "Hey, we don't have any outfield
depth." That'd be a big no. I would just not. We're fine. Yeah.
I think.
I would just not go to any games.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, I would go to games and get kicked out because I'd throw shit on the field.
True story.
Like, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I was just doing a beer flip. A bottle, I just fucking threw it up in the fucking air. He can do that, but I can't. Oh, because it's a baseball. Fine, I'll fucking throw a bat at him, and I'll pull one of the fucking kid bats out and throw it at him.
Right.
And I'll leave to a standing ovation from the right field fence.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about that change in the Arizona stadium.
Dude, so Arizona this year, Arizona's making some big changes this year. First off, I want to talk about the great change that they're making, and they're fucking bringing back the classic bullpen car. So for people that don't know what the bullpen car is, that was something that was used back in the 60s to the 80s, and it was a golf cart that had a hat on it. And that was how they got out to the field. The Mariners had a really cool tugboat for a while, but they're going to bring it back. They're bringing back the cool retro 80s thing with the bullpen car. Apparently there was one in 1996. And now they are making it a thing again. But they're also going to do something that I'm really surprised Rob Manfred's even going to let them do, because the whole thing that we've been bitching about for a while is the fact that there's a lack of offense, and that's what's making people not like baseball and enjoy baseball. So Arizona's like, hey, what can we do here? Let's add a humidor that we put our baseballs in. Now, the field in Colorado, they do that at Coors Field.
Yeah.
Coors Field is also, I want to say,
Field's a mile high. Denver's a mile high.
Right. They're at like 5,600 feet above sea.
5,200 is a mile. 5,280.
Right. So they're up there.
Their air's real thin and the balls fly real far.
Right. And their relative humidity sits just below 30%.
Right. It's dry mountain air. And
right.
So they did that a long time ago, though, right? Like way back in the 90s even? Or?
Yeah, they started it in 2000s, but they sit it at 70% humidity. They keep the balls in there, and apparently what that does is it causes the exit velocity to not be as high, which causes less home runs. You still do get a shit ton of home runs.
You still do get a lot. Like it's a balancing act, right? Like you can slow if apparently the humidity slows down the ball speed. The
right.
thin air speeds it up or doesn't drag as much. Well, it's equal. It's still greater than the average ballpark.
Right.
But Arizona doesn't have that much elevation in Phoenix.
They are number 2 in elevation in
are they really?
Major League Baseball.
I thought they would be even higher, but I didn't realize they're still number
only
2.
1,060 above sea level.
Right. So apparently there's absolutely no other stadiums at elevation.
Right.
Except
In
for
Major
Colorado.
League. Minor League Baseball, if you listen to the last episode with Jessica Kleinschmidt, where she talks about the ballpark variables, how it varies in that. But the thing is the air is a shit ton drier in Arizona, where they're sitting at like around 30% for the relative humidity in Colorado.
Yeah.
Arizona's at around 20%.
Yeah.
So the ball's still driving.
Yeah,
But-
no, it's gonna cause, that people like Paul Goldschmidt aren't gonna win the MVP. Let's put it that way.
No, so they were
Arizona will do just fine. They got a good team, but
Right.
yeah, expect their offensive stats to go down.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that's what it's going to do. And the Rockies didn't start it till the 2002 season. And the humidor there is set at 70 degrees with 50% humidity. And they figured that's about what the Diamondbacks are going to keep it at. But there was a thing released for WOBA, which is weighted on base average, and ZOBA, which is taking their expected on base average. And the ZOBA for Paul Goldschmidt after 2017 is 422, where the Diamondbacks players are actually experiencing 2 miles less on their exit velocity in other stadiums besides Chase Field. With that variable, it makes it 373. Now, with the new humidor set at 70 degrees, 50% humidity, they're looking at taking 4 miles per hour off of the exit velocity, which is going to drop them down to a 358.
Chase, finally, I'm reminded of what I knew we had to talk about.
And what is that?
It was the 538 article about the balls.
Right. So, I mean, that's the thing is the balls look different. They've x-rayed baseballs.
Yeah,
They've
well,
compared.
we didn't get into it. No, so if somebody hadn't read it, which is a lot of people, but Major League Baseball has been denying. We talked about it multiple times last year about how after the 2016 All-Star break, halfway through the year, the numbers started to change. They
Right.
started to spike. Major League Baseball said, no, the balls are fine. Totally normal. All of last year, we had the most home runs in history, right?
Right.
By just a little bit more than 2016, which is also a league, like a really, really high number.
Right. And then the World Series was just fucking
Right.
home
One of
run
those games,
derby
7 home
2.0.
runs, right?
Yeah.
7 home runs in one game. No, so 2 different organizations, one being a sport, like a kinesiology lab out in California, and one being somewhere else, I forget, but they did CT scans and X-rays on the balls. They got 4 from before 2016 All-Star break, 4 after. These are all official game balls, and they said it's not about just that the weight difference of the entire ball, but it's that if you take out the core, that the weight difference is all to the core. It has nothing to do with outside. So it's not about the total weight.
Right.
It is statistically significant when you just measure only however many grams, I don't know, 50 grams or whatever, that the rubber core is. They're saying they're finding like 1 gram differences or whatever, and that's statistically significant in everything they measured. Essentially, the science is showing, yes, there is a difference. The rubber is bouncier, it's lighter, the chemical composition changed, the balls are juiced in the story.
Yeah. And I don't know if they're saying, MLB can say, oh, there's nothing different. They are
MLB
still
is saying that it's within the
within the realms of what they consider a good ball and a bad ball.
Yeah, their tolerances for manufacturing. They're saying that's cool. What we're saying is essentially, well, okay, it used to fall in the middle. Now it falls on the bounciest side of your tolerance, and that's a big difference. Your tolerances are too loose.
Right. Yeah, that. And I know last season when that was a big topic with us here on the show, and we were talking about how maybe they were changing where the balls were made was one thing that we had heard that they had changed, where they were getting their goods from to manufacture the ball. That could be something else. But it seems to be like it might be. But you know who hasn't changed?
Who hasn't changed?
Mitchell Bat Company.
It's the time.
That guy has not changed. He's Mitchell Bat Co. Hand-painted bats. He's got a sale going on right now, $175 on a custom bat. And it looks really fucking awesome. It's been in GQ Magazine, ESPN's top Christmas deal. So check out Mitchell Bat Company, mitchellbatco.com. He's all over Instagram. Tell him, hey, heard about you guys on Cold Beers and Curveballs. And he'll probably be like, hey, I'll throw you in a pack of cards in your little box.
Is that the official deal?
I don't know if it's
the official, unofficial deal?
Yeah, it's the official, unofficial.
Quick, tell Jeremy what we just said because
I'll text Jeremy real quick and be like, "Hey, we fucking opened our mouths."
Hey, we just promised people a pack of cards, so you better throw it in there,
right? Well, let's talk about Corey's favorite player, Rugi Odor.
Rugi,
I might have some music for Rugi.
You were acting like you got some Rugi music.
So, yeah, Rugi Odor got this song going, the Soul Decision, Corey's girlfriend's favorite song of all time. And the reason why we have that song is because it's about like Rugi's batting average. It was a one-hit wonder, and it seems like Rugi was a one-hit wonder. And the only hit that we really wondered about was the one on Jose Bautista. Basically, what we learned last year is you can throw a backdoor slider or a cut fastball to literally Rugi Odor at any time in the count, and he will swing at it.
And he will miss it.
And he will miss it bad.
Is Rugi Odor having to make some soul decisions?
He's making some soul decisions this year.
No,
and it has to do with the title of this episode. What the fuck is a conversion count?
What is a conversion count? It sounds like a made-up name for something we all talked about already.
So,
but
I feel
basically, Rugi Odor, he decided that he's going to strike out a little bit less this year.
And how is he going to do that?
Well, he's going to not swing at the 3-1 pitches.
And anything else?
I don't know, like keep his eye on the ball and not try to hit 50 home runs.
No, don't get me wrong. I like Rugi Odor.
Rugi's cool.
I think Rugi's kind of a cool guy. Like, he wears a lot of necklaces. I don't know if that slows down his base running abilities, but it makes him look like a genuine Venezuelan badass. But
when he rides his horses,
around, that John Daniels is like, hey, what if we give you a fucking real-sized horse, even though you're not a real-sized man? And he's like, okay. But, Rugi's a cool guy, but Rugi struggled at the plate last year. Rugi had like a 135 batting average, but he had 30 fucking home runs. And, and it was because he was feast or famine.
Was he below 200?
Yeah. He had a sub-200 batting average.
He was like literally one of the worst second basemen in the league.
Right, but he had like 28, 30 home runs.
Huh?
He was feast or famine last year.
He still got 30, right?
Yeah, he got 30 home runs. He didn't get a goddamn base hit.
I'd love to see 30 home runs again. But like once we acknowledge that 30 is real easy to get,
right?
Like, let's worry about everything else,
and that's
Rugi.
The thing, but that's, I think, a thing that we're going to see over the whole league.
Watch you a little bit of Willie Calhoun batting. He knows how to hit.
He looks fucking weird when he's out there. He's
tiny human too.
His body makeup is just fucking weird. He looks like
the leg. He looks like
one of those
that like giant human beings like Joey Gallo would have, but he happens to be like 5'9".
Right. Yeah, his torso just fucking. He doesn't have a fucking torso. Like, he looks like a midget on stilts. That's doing, like, workout videos.
He is, as they say, thick, but he is not a big guy.
No, he is 5'9" by 5'9", but all muscle. But no, that's one thing that I think we're going to have to look at is the offensive production that was there. Was you had guys like Gallo who were fucking hitting shots that were hitting people over at Six Flags, and we still couldn't win games because they were all solo home runs. So they're going to have to manufacture some type of offense this year. And they haven't done anything to the lineup. Everything's still questionable. Right. You've got Cole Hamels, who now they're saying, "Oh, we're going to go with a 6-man rotation."
Let's
and he's
talk
like,
about that later.
Yeah, no, I mean you've got all of that going on with the Rangers, and I don't think we'll talk about it later because we've only got 19 more minutes on the fucking show. So,
yeah, big news. Hamels not real thrilled about 6-man rotation.
Right, and what would you be like if you don't like Jews, you're anti-Semitic. So what if you don't like fucking Japanese baseball? You're anti-Japanese. But I mean, he said that he's trained his body to pitch every 5th day, which that's cool. You were fucking hurt last year because you didn't know how to warm up. Right. Like, you didn't get an injury in a game. You were fucking warming up, and they're like, oh, pulled a rib. Why? Because you're 40.
Close, but not
close. But I don't think he's going to go 200 innings this year. So basically what happened was he was asked about it, and he said, I don't believe in a 6-man rotation. That's college ball. That's Japanese ball. That isn't how we play baseball. That's not baseball to me. Well, you know what baseball was before you, fucker? They had one pitcher, and he threw 1,800 pitches. He went home, and he got drunk, and he woke up the next fucking day, and he did it again. That was pitching until about the 40s.
Right.
They maybe had 2 or 3 guys. They've adapted to you. They've given you this link. They've given you this thing. It wasn't until the damn near 70s that we had specialty relief pitchers.
Right.
We started building bullpens and things like that. The game has evolved.
I do acknowledge, I feel like he should get on the train. But the fact of for 12 years, whatever his career has been. I mean, let's put it all the way down to 18. I don't know, for 15 plus years, he's pitched every 5th day.
Right.
You just have you have the rest day, and you have the build up back to your start, and you've been in that cycle for years and years and years, and yeah. It is a change, but hopefully it's for the better.
Well,
Rangers are just trying to suck a little more extra performance out of their non-starter starters.
Well, and Banny has said that they're looking at, and the pitching coach, that they're looking at basically like a 5 with a floater. So their first,
right? And I don't see why you couldn't do that, where you could have. You could have a few of them on 5-day rotations and just rotate through.
Before Scott Feldman got the spot somewhere, I believe it was the Cubs, he became an actual starter. He was one of those people that you could throw in and he could do a spot start for you.
Right.
He was good enough. It was one of those things that, you knew he would come in for you. You have guys like that you keep in your bullpen that are long relief. But you don't have that. You have Bartolo Colon.
Nah, you know who our spot starter is? Austin Bibbins-Dirks.
Oh, yeah. Austin Bibbins-Dirks last year. Corey going off getting the shirt made. But they're not even going to utilize that. They have Tim Lincecum that they're going to put in the bullpen. They have Matt Bush that they're going to pull out of that, which, hey.
Yeah, that don't make no sense to me.
No, it's never fucking made sense.
No, pulling bullpen arms out. Guys, let's look at Feliz, right? That didn't work. And then Ogandu.
Right. It's never fucking worked.
Yeah, it didn't work.
If you look in history, there's only been one person who's been a starting pitcher and a closer and made it fucking work, and that was John Smoltz.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
He's
Hall of Fame caliber.
Right, but he did it in a reverse.
Huh?
He did it in a reverse.
Right.
He didn't start out as a closer, go starting pitcher.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't fucking get. We've got Matt Moore.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to value their bullpen higher these days. Keep Matt Bush over there.
Right. Why didn't we keep Cashner?
Yeah, no kidding. Cashner was on the cheap, $7 million or something?
Right.
We were talking, I remember them talking on the radio all the time about Cashner, back in, last October, November. Oh, they were talking about it was going to be $12 million, $13 million, $14 million. We're never going to be able to keep him. And he was signed for like $9 million.
Right.
He could have totally kept Cashner.
Cashner was great. Cashner was a consistent arm.
Yeah.
So we have Nick Martinez, who, God hope, he doesn't fucking get back in a pen with bulls.
Right.
Or you've got Matt Moore, who's a redemption thing. We've got Tim Lincecum. We've got Matt Bush that we're going to convert. We've got Mike Minor.
Yeah.
We've got Cole Hamels. We've got Bartolo Colon on a minor league deal, which basically says you're going to be our fifth fucking starter.
Lincecum and Cologne. Essentially, we should have been good like 10 years ago.
Right, yeah. Dude, we have the best.
This is 2018.
We have the best pitching staff from 2006. We got Doug Fister.
But this is 2018.
Right?
No, John, look, okay.
I mean, what's next? Kenny Rogers? You going to bring
right?
that fucker back?
I was thinking about it on the way here, though. Like, the Rangers are in this awkward spot where they don't want to tank, and it's probably unwise, and they've determined that it's unwise, but they can't quite go for it either. They can't compete with the Astros and the Dodgers and the Yankees and all these other good teams. They're not quite at that level, but and if we had a little more active of an off season and gotten guys like, oh look, who's cheap, several pitchers right now, and that's what we need.
Right.
We could be a pretty damn good team. We could be 90 wins maybe.
Right.
We could be an above average. We could be that wild card, like legit one, not like the failed one last year. But the thing is, we're just bargain based. We're just clearance shopping. We're just shopping on the clearance rack. We're trying to find $5 items that were regular price for $60.
Because that's what John Daniel's done in the past. He's found the diamond in the rough.
And it has worked in the past. But now it's like, hey, look, we know that we've got a good first baseman. We know we've got a good third baseman. We know we got a good shortstop. We got an okay second.
What do we have at first?
I'm saying Joey Gallo's first baseman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go ahead and give Joe Gallo the first.
Yeah, I think he is.
Right.
I'm pretty. But we look at our outfield. And
we don't have an outfield.
We look at our outfield and we're like, okay, Delino, he's not scaring anybody. Okay, good job. You're a starting center fielder in the majors, but you're still Delino DeShields. You are not an all-star.
Right.
We're looking at our left fielder like, okay, well, he's a rookie.
Who we got in left field? Who do you think we got?
Well, we got Rua's platoon maybe, but who did I just say? Willie Calhoun.
Right. And then you got
right
Nomar
field,
Mazzara.
Right fielder is Mazzara, and yeah, he's kind of up and down too. And then we got Chu, where we don't really want Chu, but we got his contract.
Yeah, he's going to DH.
Right? He's going to get some playing time, or he'll probably get injured, hopefully, or something like that. We got Claudio, who's not he's not an all-star catcher, but he could be pretty good. I mean, he had a good year
Chirinos?
last year. Sorry, I said Claudio. Chirinos, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's the thing is,
so we've got a lot of uncertainty. We've got a lot of people who could be good, could be bad, and so that's why he's just waiting to see how things go, and he's buying that bargain basement because if that uncertainty turns out on the bottom half of their projections, then you just overspent, and you've got this mixed bag, and it doesn't pan out. But if we overperform, then you can always, baseball has proven over and over again that it's a very active market. You can go get good guys.
Right.
If you want them. But, it's like we're going to hover around that 70, 80, 90 win mark. We're not going to be elite, and we're not going to be a 60-win team either for the next several years.
Right, and that's the problem is we're not even...
go bargain basement shopping.
And we're not even looking at it in a smart sense. So do you remember a player named Mike Olt?
Mike Olt?
Mike Olt.
Remind me.
He was kind of like a outfield third baseman. Had a decent bat on him, good pop. He got called up. I believe it was like the 2012-2013 season.
I vaguely remember.
You remember Nick Tepish?
Yes, I remember.
You remember
the name
Justin
Nick
Grimm?
Tepish, huh?
You remember Justin Grimm?
I remember the name Justin Grimm. Did he
decent
go to
relief
Mariners,
pitcher?
No,
No, they're all playing Major League Baseball somewhere else besides the fucking Rangers, and they were the reason why the Rangers had the best fucking farm system.
Yep.
There's 53 of those fuckers, and only 51 of them last now because you know why we signed Tim Lincecum to a big boy deal instead of giving him exactly what we gave Bartolo Colon, Doug Fister, Mike Minor, all those fuckers.
Yeah.
And give him a minor league contract. So guess who went on waivers? One of the last guys left, Brett Nichols. The only thing that we had for a catcher.
Yeah, backup catcher right
Yeah.
there.
And you can't trust Chirinos. This will be Chirinos' first year as a full-time catcher.
Full-time starter, right.
Who you've got
Who is that
behind
guy, though?
them.
Who is going to be our backup catcher? I remember reading about him just a day ago. I'll look it up.
There's two guys. They're talking about carrying three catchers because of the uncertainty of this season. When people found out Brett Nichols was, there were beat reporters who were in the locker room saying this is fucking bullshit.
Right.
Like that was the exact quote that came out of one of their mouths. So Brett Nichols goes on waivers.
Jose Trevino. Well, okay, right. So maybe it must be an evaluation of we say Jose Trevino's better. I mean,
he's not. They even fucking say he's not.
Okay.
What they've done is they've wasted their options. They had to designate him for assignment. He's
Right.
out of options.
Yeah.
So now he has to go through waivers.
and
here's
he
the
had a
fucking
bat. Like he could pinch hit kind of thing. Like
right.
he had a little bit of a bat more than some of the others.
And so the Rangers are hoping he doesn't get picked up. I don't see it happening where he's going to clear waivers. I don't see that fucking happening at all. Especially when 30 minutes after that happened, the catcher for the Rockies, their starting catcher, gets popped in the wrist. Everybody's like, well, we can always go back and get Lucroy because
Right.
Lucroy hasn't been picked up yet.
Right.
He's a free agent. Nobody cares about Lucroy
Nobody
anymore.
wants Lucroy anymore.
Dude, but you know what
it's
people
such a
want?
Weird baseball world we live in.
You know what
Nobody
people
wants
want, though?
Lucroy, nobody wants Arrieta.
Nah, they don't want them because they're too expensive. But do you know what people do want?
What do people want, Chase?
Good Texas beer.
Yeah, I'm drinking it right now.
And we found a new place that's actually down in Houston. So any of our Houston listeners who like Charge the Mound, no Babe Ruthless, and all that, there's a place called Texas Leaguer Beer, and it's awesome.
It's got a good formula going.
They got a knuckle bock down there that tastes fucking amazing.
I like knuckle box.
I like knuckle box too. So check them out, Texas Leaguer Beer. It's hard to find up here in Dallas, but you know what? If you're ever down in the Houston area, you want to go to Minute Maid Park, go check them out. It's a lot of fun. They got a nice little baseball beer garden that they have going on.
Farm System Friday, like these guys are cool. Look at their lineup of beers. It's a baseball scorecard, basically.
Dude, it's amazing. Like, those people are all about it.
Airmail Blonde, 643 Belgian, Knucklebuck, 2-hopper IPA. Love it.
Right.
Love it, love it.
And it's going to be amazing because these next couple of seasons, when the Rangers can't draw dick, you know what is going to draw dick? The SWL. The newest formed professional baseball league that's going to be debuting 2019. And we are going to be there.
Could you maybe phase that out from your vocabulary?
Draw dick? Come on now. It's a great major league line.
No, I don't think it worked very well. Try again next week.
I'll try again next week. But no, we will be joining the SWL for their run with Walk Off Media. Corey's got some other projects going on within that realm too.
Chase is making buku bucks on Walk Off Media, right?
I'm trying. We got Walk Off Sports coming up.
Right.
So
Walk Off Media is not Walk Off Sports?
It's a different entity. Walk Off Sports is going to be your sports hub. It's going to have a website coming up here in the spring and summer with writers. So if you know any sports writers, people that we're looking to get in, let us know. We're always looking for people.
There you go.
So we're going to go back here for a little bit. So it came out this week. Ichiro Suzuki signed a deal with Seattle Mariners, which is his first.
We're going back to the USSR?
Yes.
No. Back to 2001?
Back to 2001.
Oh, yeah.
This guy comes over. He's in clothes that look like they were made for a person who is about 6'4", 290.
Yeah.
Looks like he bought some Jinkos at fucking Frank's Big and Tall. And it's this scrawny little Asian guy with some Oakley sunglasses and a backwards hat. And who would have known he would change the face of Asian baseball and even American baseball? And it was Ichiro Suzuki.
3,000 hits later, he is looking way sharper.
Right. He's been with the Mariners. He's been with the Yankees. He's been with the Marlins.
Yep.
Now he's back with the Mariners, which kind of makes you think this might be the end. A lot of people thought last year was the end because nobody picked him up. He turned down a couple of Japanese teams and Korean teams. He said, no, I want to play Major League Baseball. Mariners are giving him that opportunity.
See, Ichiro gets in that press conference, and he's like, guys, I ain't playing for 1 year. I'm going to play for like 6 or 7 more years.
Dude,
Everyone laughs, and he's like, no, guys, I'm going to keep playing.
Like, Ichiro Suzuki is the Bartolo Colon for position players.
Don't even insult Ichiro Suzuki like that, though.
I mean, I'm not saying that he looks like Shrek.
No, I mean, Bartolo Colon's great and all, and he's big, sexy, and he's been playing until he's 47 years old. But Ichiro Suzuki is on another level.
Right. No,
Ichiro is one of the best baseball players that has ever lived.
You know, they said there was a story in in Central Park in New York City. There's some sandlot fields, and there was a guy. He said he was walking around out there, and he kept hearing like a guy hitting a ball. And he was like, "That doesn't sound like just somebody out here hitting baseballs in Central Park. That sounds good. Like it sounds like a good, like that sounds like somebody that knows what they're doing." And it was an off day for. I believe it was the Mariners at the time, and he walks up and it's Ichiro Suzuki working on his game because he was OCD about everything. I mean, he's all, it's Japanese baseball is something that's different than here in America where they're all in. And that's how he was on his off day. He's sitting in Central Park hitting baseballs because there was something he needed to work on.
Yeah. No, I still remember, like, if I could get my cousin to listen to this, Brad, up there, this is for you. Ichiro is his favorite baseball player, probably, because he remembers that at the freaking All-Star game, which does not matter, Ichiro is out there rolling balls down the third base line because he's trying to judge how they're going to, like, are they going to stay fair or foul?
Right.
He's out there making these, super observant, super detailed. It's a game that doesn't even matter, but it mattered to him.
See,
he's out there like, oh, if I ended up in a bunting situation, am I going to be able to lay this one? Is it going to stay fair or foul?
Right. And he was the only guy that was slap bunting. He was pulling out like softball shit. I loved it because he wore his first name. I thought that was fucking badass.
No, it was the best. Dude, I played with him. I in MLB The Show 2003 PlayStation game, played the crap out of that. Played with the Cardinals. I would always, because I had Albert Pujols, he was the best at then.
Right.
I would always trade for Ichiro, and I would steal like 50 steals every single
season.
Dude,
and he's still fast. He's still in tip-top shape.
He's good.
And you know who's getting back to shape, though? Tim Tebow.
I got is greater. I got is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. I got is healer. Awesome in power. I got.
Tim Tebow is back in the lineup. He had a sprained ankle. Apparently stepped on a sprinkler head during...
He should try not doing that.
Yeah, I think the bit's almost up. There's a few writers in New York that's just like, fucking give it up. This guy's a joke. But no,
he's going to go to all the AAA parks. He's going to increase it.
Right, because he's going to be at Las Vegas this year, guys. Most people are saying he's going to be at AAA. It's going to be a shirt sell deal. If it was any other team, it's kind of like Jessica said on the last episode. If it was any other team, fuck no. But it is the shit show that is known as the New York Metropolitans.
He's getting a call up. He's
getting a call up. It's already been said. He's getting a call up. The thing's a fucking joke. I have to actually get on a flight after doing this because they're calling me in for a relief pitcher for the team, and I think I'm going to make it. But with that being said, this will be the end of the show for today. We will have more stories as spring training comes up. Check us out on Cold Beers and Curveballs for Facebook, Instagram, CB&CB Podcast for Twitter. Also check out Stitcher, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spreaker. We are all there. When you're listening to it, subscribe to the show and review it. Give us some 5 stars.
On iTunes, go give us a review.
Yeah, give us some stuff to work with, guys.
That.
We love that. So with that being said, guys, enjoy all the baseball that's spring training. Get yourself the MLB TV deal. Drink your beer. Drink it responsibly, but don't watch baseball responsibly. Go all fucking in, guys. And that is it for this week's episode.